the sneeze. Excuse me. Okay, students, for this center, we are going to work on some words to help us understand the standard. We are working on understanding what we read by looking at the book, the text, the writing in the book, and understanding by looking at the pictures in the book, okay? Our standard is using the writing and the pictures to understand the characters, plot, and setting in the story. What is the character? What is the setting? What is the plot? So we have talked about this before. The character is the person in the story. The who. Who's in the story? Who is the story about? Then we have setting. Where the story takes place. Where? It's usually a location, a park, a house, a school. Where? And then we have the plot. What happens in the story? What is the storyline? What is going on? Is there a problem? So the plot is the what in the story. So before we go into our story, I want you to pull out your word bank journal. Pull out your word bank journal. I'm going to give you some words. We're going to do an activity sheet. You're going to cut. We're going to cut out our words and we're going to match them to what they mean, and we're going to glue them in our book. So let me show you. You ready? Get your scissors and get your glue stick. Okay, you have your supplies? Great, great job, guys. Okay, we're gonna take first our words. We're gonna cut our words. Like so. Okay, yeah, good, you're doing great. So cut the words first, and then character. Character. Yes, the who, the person in the story. So now we're going to match and put them together. Person in the story is your character. Sometimes the character can be an animal. It's not always people. Okay, now that we cut our word and our meaning, we're gonna match. We're gonna find our word bank, blank page, and we are going to use our glue stick, and we are going to glue character, you're gonna glue character, person in story, person in the story, or in the novel, or in the play. Okay? So we're gonna finish, we're gonna do plot next, then setting, and then change. Sorry, challenge. What is the challenge in the story? Sometimes there's a problem in the story. So we are going to also cut that one out. And we're gonna match it to the words. Okay, students, when you were done with that activity, now let's look in the story. I want us to find where, let's start with where does the story take place? Where? It's a place, a location. Let's read. So Trixie and her daddy went down the block and through the park. Trixie helped her daddy put the laundry into the machine. I think I skipped a page. I sure did. Sorry about that, guys. They walked past the school. We're in a school building. They walked by the school and they went to the laundromat. They went to the laundromat where we do what there? Yes, a place where you wash clothes. And now Trixie helps Daddy put the laundry into the machine. So where is the story taking place right now? What is the setting? Yes. Yes, very good. The laundromat. That is one of the settings in our story. I used the book Knuffle Bunny, A Cautionary Tale by Mo Willems for Center D. This is the center for my second language learners. I decided to front load the terms first because these are terms that we are not only using in most of our lessons these days, but it's also part of the standard. In order to understand the standard, we need to understand the language of the standard. So the students front loaded their terms. We matched the words with the meanings, and then we glued them into our word journals, our word banks, so that we can refer to them again in the future. And then I also had them now look for examples using the actual text of what is a plot, what is a setting, what is a character. I think this activity connects to the standard because, again, they are applying their knowledge now, applying their knowledge of the terms to understand what the goal is, what the standard is. In this center, I didn't mention this, but also students would be asked to bring their dictionaries, and there will be discussions so that they can further have understanding on some of these words, like using real world examples. If it's a Spanish language learner, I may use a little Spanish here and there to just make sure that they are connecting and using their actual knowledge to make connections to the new words that they're learning. And if it's a language that I don't speak, I will still try to find examples and ways of helping them connect. So I created a matching worksheet, which was my resource. It's actually a worksheet that I just put together on my own. And I did use CPalms to look at examples of English language standards for ELA. To be quite honest, they are super broad. They're not specific at all. I did look at the WIDA Access 2.0 can-do descriptors to give me a little bit more guidance on what would be an activity that I can do with an ELL learner, especially as we are learning these parts of the story to match to our standard. So this is my Center D for second language learners.